We first saw the sports world stand still back in March due to the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 6 months later, it happened again, but not because of a health crisis, but because professional athletes were trying to bring attention to what they believe is a racial injustice crisis here in our country. Also an issue that impacts our sports world here in Bakersfield. Erica McCall knew her journey in basketball was always going to be much more than the wins on the court. That passion led her to the WNBA, a league that hasn't always been in the spotlight, but has always been loud and fighting for equality.
Me as a Black woman, I have to speak up, especially with the platform that I have being in the WNBA, and people are listening to me, speaking up against the injustices of the world, and ultimately just trying to create an environment and country with more inclusion and peace and equality.
The WNBA dedicated its entire 2020 season to honoring the lives of Black women killed by police violence, showcasing Black Lives Matter and Say Her Name all throughout the IMG Academy. And when the Milwaukee Bucks refused to play last Thursday in support of Jacob Blake, the women had no trouble doing the same, calling their movement a day of reflection.
When did you ever have a whole meeting, like ever, when you have a whole league coming together, speaking about what we want? And I'm very proud to be a part of it, very proud to be a professional athlete, be a part of the WNBA. And it's just a beautiful thing that what us athletes are doing to really push for change, because change is needed in this world, it's needed in this country.
While the women unified as a league in Florida, countless athletes in leagues across the country unified under the same message.
And to see the example of this love crossing gender, when you're talking about the WNBA to the Major League Baseball to hockey, when you start to see that, that there's a thread there, or there's something there, which I call love.
Cal State Bakersfield men's basketball coach Rod Barnes also felt the impact back here in Erica's hometown, feeling empowered by Doc Rivers' emotional comments on wanting the country he loves to love him back.
And it's weekly, almost nightly, that someone breaks down and says something is wrong. We've got to pay attention to that.
Coming from a generation before today's athletes, Barnes transitioned from an Ole Miss player to the Rebels head coach by the end of the 90s, and he's making sure to continue evolving by learning new ways to share his own voice.
We're in some very difficult times, and social media is such a powerful thing right now. And even each morning I wake up and I said, how can I say something or encourage something to get us to quit building walls, and start building more bridges.
Just like the sports world they compete in brings all types of people together, they are hoping the platforms in sports has the power to bring those people together outside of the arenas and stadiums too.
I hope the naysayers can change their mind and see why we're fighting for this, and truly just try to put themselves in our shoes. Not our basketball shoes, but our everyday life shoes. Hopefully with that, this country and this world can be a much better place.